Yoma Daf Beis. Today's email comes from Muncie. It says, I'm a Labav Shechased, at least I try to be, who grew up in Crown Heights. Let's just say that we didn't grow up with Daf Yomi. Some people in my community near Muncie have been speaking about your shir, and when I saw the advertisement on a website for a free art scroll Gemara, I got suckered in. I work 12 plus hours a day, sometimes 5 days a week. I convinced myself that I don't have enough time in the day to learn anything, let alone Daf Yomi. As a Lubavitcher, there's a strong encouragement by the Lubavitcher Rebbe for learning Chitas, which stands for Chumash Tehillim and Tanya, and Rambam, as it's split up by the days of the month and the week. I've not been keeping up with that either. But once the art school donators pulled me in to Daf Yomi, I told myself, what type of Lubavitcher does Daf Yomi without Chitas and Rambam? So here I am, 8 dapim, and finding time to do all of it daily. Your Daf Yomi share increases Torah learning more than you realize. You're making me a better chassid. So I would encourage others to try these additional shiurim as well. And then he goes on to say, as for the Farbrengen part of this email, I hope that doesn't mean a shtach. It's nice to hear someone say how humble they are and read flattering emails complimenting them incessantly. Thank you very much for your hard work, and may you grow from strength to strength. Haroitze bi'ilum shmai. So Yoma Daf Beis brings a stira, contradiction between two brises. On the one hand, the brisa says that a shul is metame ben agayim, could have tsaras. On the other hand, there's a brisa that says that it's not metama ben agayim, not metame ben tsaras. The Gemara brings 3 terutzim, although one of them is pushed off at the end. One teretz says that it goes according to a mayor that mchayiv mezuzah becomes tsaras. It's like a private home. Chachamim say you potter from mezuzah, doesn't have tsaras. Or both of them are chachamim, but one of them has a house and therefore you chayiv mezuzah. Or both of them don't have a house, but a village is chayiv mezuzah because it's like a private place, a city where there's so many people that come in and out of the shul. It's potter from mezuzah. Maskana, the Gemara pushes off the teretz of kfar and krach. According to chachamim, all of Yerushalayim is not metama ben agayim, and according to Rabbi Yehuda, only in a makam kaddish like a shul. Chachamim explain that Yerushalayim wasn't divided up to the shvatim, and it's therefore Yerushalayim is not considered achuz raschem, that you own it, your Yerusha, and you can't even rent out your house. According to Rabbi Lezer, you can't even rent out a bed. That's why if somebody comes up for oil regular and uses your house, the balabayis could demand the hides from the kachim bal karchach. According to Rabbi Yehuda, Yerushalayim is divided as follows. Shevet Yehuda got the harabayis, the l'shachais, the azarais, and even a little bit of the mizbeach. Binyamin gets the ulam, the heichal, the kachim kadashim, and he used to be mitzvah every day. How come he didn't have the entire mizbeach? Part of it went to Yehuda, and therefore he was zoicha that the Aron HaKodesh was in kachim kadashim. We learned in the Mishnah that they set aside another kohen gadol just in case some sort of tumah happens to the kohen. But how does the second kohen become a chunach? How does he become a kohen gadol? The Gemara tells us either through the hakravas hatamid, and if the other one became tamid afterwards. So it goes like this. According to everybody in Kippur, the avnei, the belt of the kohen gadol, is pishtan. During the weekday, it's shatnez. A regular kohen during the weekday, according to Rebbe, it's shatnez, and according to Rebbe Lezer, Rebbe Shimon, it's pishtan. So according to Rebbe, the entire year the kohen gadol and the head you wear shatnez. So Yom Kippurim, when the kohen gadol wears pishtan, everybody could tell that the second one is the kohen gadol now. According to Rebbe Lezer, Rebbe Shimon, the head you wears pishtan. So how does he have chinuch? Through wearing the shmeina begadim, and he's mahavach b'tzinoira, he flips the meat over with a fork. Reb Papa says you don't need to come on to that. The actual fact that he's working the Beis HaMikdash, that is mechanachem. Reb Daisa says the big day kohen gadol, you could, after he finishes them, a kohen head you could wear them. Rebbe says you can't because the avnei, the belt, is different. Also, malim b'kodesh v'lo meridim. Once the kohen gadol used it, kohen head cannot use it. But what you could do is, if they're shachok, they're worn out clothing, then they're kosher, because it says the word yilbash. V'inicham sham. So Reb Daisa says it means that you cannot use it next year. Tanakama says it means you have to be goynez it. What happens if the first kohen gadol comes back? According to Reb Meir, the second kohen gadol acts like a kohen gadol. He wears the shmeina begadim, does all the mitzvahs. According to Reb Yosi, the second one is not a kohen gadol because they'll be fighting between the two, and it cannot even be a kohen hedi because malim b'kodesh ve'meridan. And that's how they paskin in Tzipori. There was a person by the name of Yosef ben Elaim. He was the second one in command when the first one went out, and Chacham said once the first one goes back to work, the second one is not even a kohen hedyot. Have a wonderful day.